Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to continue on with this week's theme of favorite EPs, looking at the band Oceansize and their EP, Music for Nurses. We're going to be checking out the first track on this one called One Out of None. Let's dive into this and see what Oceansize is bringing to the table today. It did not take them very long to get right into this. Emphasis on 3 and 1. What levity to come out of that aggression. Really nice movement over in this guitar. It's interesting how I get alt rock vibes out of this though. Anyone else? I was expecting to go back to that grit that we started this section with. The falsetto in here is nice. Tucked into the background a bit, but works well. What chord progression? The consistent whiplash of this light, bright levity with the heavy aggression of either distorted guitars, heavy drumming, or screaming vocals is interesting. I think I found out what the weird thing is. 7 bars of 3. Some tom work over here? Of course not anymore. What? I saw that there was still like 12 seconds left when we got out of that tense dissonance section. And I was thinking, 12 seconds of silence? Well, not the longest I think I've heard. But no, just a really bright resonant chord after that. What in the world? I really don't know what to make of this. I quite enjoyed it. There's a 2000s-esque post-rock, not post-rock, hard rock thing, alternative rock thing going on here that I quite enjoy. It reminds me a little bit of like a softer Deftones mixed with some Sick Puppies. And yeah, we've listened to Oceansize before. I recognize their album with like the dude on the suit on it. I don't know what album that is. Everyone into Position. We've checked out a couple of tracks with that, and I've enjoyed them in the past, but I think this is the first time when I was like, I need more of this. And I think part of it is just the absurdity of it all. Like the general sound of it, the production, the tones of the instruments, the vocal timbre. Yeah, I mean a lot of this is clicking with me anyways. But this is an absurd song. As I mentioned, there's so many moments where there is a contrast or a juxtaposition between bright, uplifting, twinkly kind of vibes and just utter aggression and chaos, sometimes jumping back and forth between the two in odd combinations, and sometimes just smashing them together. I mean, the first time we hit the chorus, we got the screamed section for a bar before moving into the levity, the pretty guitar chords, and the falsetto harmonizing with the clean vocals, the light drumming, just kind of meandering through the chorus. And there was one part about 8 bars in when I was kind of conducting out the three, and I did this really expecting that heavy part to come back in. It was the end of an 8 bar phrase. We would then do another bar of the aggression and then 7 bars of the lightness, and we didn't. In fact, even when the second verse ended and we had our 1 bar of aggression leading into the second chorus, it was a totally different idea. To say that I had very little grasp on what was happening in the track might be an understatement. I was consistently surprised with my expectations and what actually happened. Even when I thought I had figured out what they were doing and how they went about constructing this song, they still told me I was wrong. And even the final chord at the end was a little final. Bet you weren't expecting this one. And I really love that about this track. It keeps me on my toes consistently in a way that is not just palatable to my ears, but positively heard. It's one thing to just be surprised all the time and have my expectations not met, but subverted. I will always enjoy a song, even if it's just for the novelty of that, of working outside convention. It might not translate into something I want to listen to all the time, but I will have enjoyed exploring the song at least once. But this song, if the rest of the album is like this, I only need to check the whole thing out. Because I just really dug this. Also, there's something weird going on here. It isn't typed out this way in Spotify, but in Genius, one out of none, the ONE in the word none is capitalized where the N is not. So it looks like one out of N1. And we get one acting as a bookend to all the letters in the middle. I don't think it has any deeper meaning to it. It's just really interesting to single out the word one at the end when it starts with that as well. What else to dig into though? Honestly, I'm kind of stumped. I mean, aside from the fact that, there's guitars, there's vocals, there's bass, there's drums, um, and the structure is still A B A B C B as far as I could tell. There were little variations here and there. Like I mentioned, this first bar of the second chorus doesn't start with the same aggressive line as the first chorus. It serves the identical function, but is a totally different written part. Um, well, actually, I take that back. We did have a bridge after our second chorus, but we ended on something hyper tense. And actually, I guess this will be the last thing I talk about unless I come up with something else, because, uh, yeah, I don't have a grasp on this one much at all. I just enjoyed the ride. We end the track with tons of dissonance, but not moving dissonance. It's not like we have chord progressions of tension or like where a hardcore band might use half step intervals with heavy distortion in order to create these really shrill shrieks that might move up or down in a riff. This is just, we found one bit of tension that we enjoyed and we're going to sit on it for 20, 25, 30 seconds and just exist within it. The drums are going to get a bit more chaotic. Our vocalist is going to start screaming. The bass is going to be playing like crazy, and our guitar is just going to be leaning into this dissonance. And the drums actually, there's another sound that came up over here on the left. It was only in the first 8 bars or so, and we only heard it 4 times. But it was like a dum, just like 2 tom hits. But the thing is they were super prevalent over there, and after those 4 times, they just never cropped back up. I don't know what's going on there. Um, but yeah, we just sit in this forever and ever, and I'm like, please release me from this tension. And then we just abruptly stop the song, and then beautiful chord. And again, it's the juxtaposition between the soul crushing weight and the levity of the more beautiful aspects. We can even hear this in the chorus, where we have that really aggressive first bar and then some gorgeous harmonies between the vocals and the falsetto vocals, with the guitar just laying down these gorgeous chord progressions. Uh, I don't really know what to make of it, and as far as my experience with this track goes, any sort of story that I'm getting from this or emotional component, I don't know. Right now it's an enigma. It's a lot of sounds that I heard, and I remember the order of the sounds, but as to rotating them in a way that solves a puzzle and opens up new meaning to me, I don't even know the first step. So, I'm sold, but I'm confused. Let me hit some lyrics and see if that helps at all. Well, if anything, both my confusion and intrigue have skyrocketed. It's interesting in that it's written like free poetry. There doesn't seem to be any sort of set rhythm for any of these stanzas. The rhyme pattern is not clear, but occasionally has a nice rhyme going on, and there is this rising and falling. If we look at just our first rising and falling of syllabic length, if we look at just our first stanza, we have 9 lines in it. Stasis, he freezes. We root to the spot. He's reciting and listing feelings I didn't know I had. I shiver now, depiction it's all too clear, elating and lifting, he's nature's favorite, yet chemical. Oh, that's only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was 9, and how did I miscount that? Oh wait, yeah. I miscounted my fingers. Looking dumb on a camera again. Anyways, 9 lines here, and they seem to start small, get longer, reach a cap, come back down, get longer again, and come back down. It's really interesting to see this, but this is honestly the only stanza that does it, so I don't know if there's anything worth looking into. But I don't know what any of that means either, and the further I look into these lyrics, the more confused I get. There's a recurring line comes through 3, 4 times maybe. Ourselves, we built him ourselves, our boy, contortionist boy. There is a chorus here. Always say, always again. Oh, so very touche. I'm lost, but he has found me, says always. Burn his eyes. Our hatred and beauty is love and caffeine, a voice like graffiti. Ourselves, we built him ourselves. I don't know. There is hatred, there is pride, there is awe. But what it all means, I have no idea. And even just looking at this emotionally, there's a negativity to a lot of this. The hatred, burn his eyes. But there's also a positivity. There is almost an element of religious saving here, which is, I mean, kind of directly depicted in one of the stanzas. Savior, I'm hanging on every word, a religion, a beauty, lies, and deliberate mistakes. There's positivity and negativity mixed all throughout these lyrics, sometimes happening simultaneously, much in the same way that the weight and animosity of the heavier sections of the music are paired with and juxtaposed with the lighter, prettier elements. And I'd say that those two themes line up rather well, but I still don't know what the purpose of it all is. For here, though, let's wrap it up. Those are my thoughts on Oceansize's 1 out of none. I'm very lost on this. If you can help me in any way, put those thoughts down in the comments. Also, give me your own perspectives and opinions or anything you'd like to correct me on or whatever. Toss that stuff down there. Above the comment section in the description box is a link for Linktree. It'll take you to this menu. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. We do have a special selection coming up next. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, as usual. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.